Hey guys, in this Java tutorial we're going to be doing MissingString, which is exercise 6 from week 2. So write a Java program called MissingString that prompts the user to enter a string which you will call s, and an int which you will call n. So we already know that we have two variables. Okay. Print out to the screen a new string whereby the character at index n, so whatever we enter in string s, which is the string they enter, has been removed. So we have to take out whatever value, whatever character is at the index, which is the number that they enter. Okay. The value of n will be valid index. Will be a valid index of the character in string s, i.e. n will be in the range of 0 ... Okay. Okay, so this is a tricky one, so before we jump straight into it, again we'll just do our pseudocode. So user input, so we're going to need to get them to enter in their string s and n. Okay, we're also going to need to find the length. I'll tell you why in a second. We also need to, actually we'll stop there and I'll go explain. Okay, so how we're going to do this is we're going to have to, the user's going to enter in a string. So they're going to enter in, let's say, hello. Okay, so hello has 5 letters, so its length is 5, and the index number is 0 for H, 1 for E, 2 for L, 3 for L, and 4 for O. So let's say the user enters an index value of 1. We want to, so here's the index value 1. We want to remove E from the string. Now, how are we going to do that? Well, first of all, we're going to split the string into 2 different sides. So we're going to have side 1, which is just going to consist of H and have an index of 0, and side 2, which is going to consist of LLO and has an index of 2, 3, and 4. So how are we going to split the string into 2 different sides? Well, we're going to use side 1, and we're going to use the substring method. So we're going to enter into 2 different values for that. We're going to enter in 0, which will be the very start, until the number entered by the user. So until 1, so 0 to 1, which is just H. And then we're going to, on side 2, we're going to say the number entered by the user, which is 1, plus 1, so 2, and the length of the string. So we just group them like that. So when we use the substring function to get side 1, we will have just H in side 1, and when we use the substring method in side 2, we'll have LLO. And then at the very end, what we want to do is concatenate side 1 to side 2, and we'll get HLLO. Okay? Okay, so let's go start that. Okay, so we need the user input, so we're going to need to get them to enter in the string first of all. So I've already put the scanner up the top here, so we're going to just need to say scanner my input equals new scanner system.in, and then system.out.println. We need to ask them to enter in a string. Okay. Now we need to assign whatever they enter to a variable, which is going to be s. So we're just going to say string s equals my input dot next line Okay, so we have that now. Now what we need to do is we need to get an input for whichever index they're going to enter. So again, just a little print out, system.out.print line. Okay, so enter a whole number. Okay, and now we're going to assign that as an int, call it n, like it says up on the top, and that's going to be equal to my input dot, oh, just noticed a mistake up there, my input dot next int. Okay, so now we have those two variables assigned values, which will be whatever the user enters. Okay, so now the next step that we have to do, if we could just go back to our PowerPoint, so we need to find the length. So we know that the length of hello is 5, but our program doesn't, so we need to find the length, and to do that we're going to use the length method. So I'm going to declare a new variable and call it, I'm just going to call it the string length, L-E-N-G-T-H, and I'm going to assign that, and that's going to be equal to whatever the user enters for string, so equals s dot length. Now the length method will automatically calculate the length of the string which the user entered up here on this line. So I'm just going to save. Okay, so now we have whatever the user inputs, so the string. We also have the number, which is going to be the index of the string, and we now have the length. So we know all these different values now. So now what we need to do is we need to tell the program to split it up once, split it into two sides once it's compiled. So let's just come back here. Okay, so we need to say string side1 equals substring equals s, so our string that the user enters, dot substring. So we want a substring, which is basically a snippet of whatever they enter, which is declared as s. And in our parameters, we're going to say we want 0, comma, the index of the value that they want. So we already assigned that a value of n. So if we go back to our PowerPoint again, so side 1, which is h, is 0, comma, the number entered by the user, which is n in this case. Okay, so then if we do the same for the other side, string side 2 equals s dot substring. Now our parameters here are the number entered by the user plus 1, so n plus 1, comma, the length of the string. So what the user entered plus 1, because we want to make sure that we go, so that if they enter 1, we want to make sure it goes to the next one, and then we get these, which is the length of the string. So we want it to go from 2 to 4, or 2 to 5, which is the 5th part. So let's just go back. So we're going to say in here, we're actually going to assign n is equal to n plus 1. So what's that? What that's doing is just saying, okay, n is 5 up here, let's say, and then we're going to add 1 onto it. Oh no, n is the number that you entered, sorry. So n is equal to 1, so we're going to add 1 to it to make it 2, so it'll skip over the one we want to get rid of. So we're going to say n, comma, and the length of our string is up here as s.length. So copy that, paste that in. Okay, so now we should be good. We've got our two variables, our two sides. So we have side 1 and side 2. So what are we going to do now? Now we have to concatenate the two of them together. And that's simple. All we have to do for that is just say system.out.println, and we're going to say side 1 plus side 2. I'm going to save, compile, and run. Okay, so enter a string. I'll type in hello, enter a whole number. I'll put in 1 as well. Oh, sorry, you won't be, I can't see that. So enter a string, said hello, enter a whole number, said 1, and it removed e.